Welcome back, my name is Sensei-pong, and this is sci-hi, an interactive fiction novel, and you're one of the few serial radio shows on the YouTube channel stuff. And where we had left off is that we were just talking with Allison, Haley, and Carly, and we were all talking about what was going down with Miss Clay and Mr. Pierce possibly on the other line of the phone, and they're talking about the Nexus and that tide pool and the tandem thing. Anywho, let's carry on. So what do you want to search for? Oh yeah, that's right, we were doing an online search. Ha! What do you want to search online for? Information about Mr. Pierce? What's he up to? Social media chatter. What are students saying about Miss Clay? Or I want to find out who's in Miss Clay's classes so I can talk to them, or occult knowledge. You can find information on anything on the internet. Maybe there's something about the tide pool. Alright, well, let's actually look up Mr. Pierce, because this could bring up some interesting information. Well, Mr. Pierce isn't exactly trying to hide his online presence. He claimed the domain randallpierce.com. It's a slick website that looks like something belonging to a political campaign. A bold American flag swirl at the top, clear block letters, and links to pages marked Issues, News, and Meet the Man. Everyone says he wants to run for governor someday, and it looks like he already is getting started. The quote-unquote Issues page proclaims to be tough on crime and strong on education, with detailed plans for how to overhaul the state's tax policy. The News page has a graph showing how Kingsport High's test scores have risen since Mr. Pierce became principal, and a chart showing how many more scholarships the students are winning. Well, there's no doubt he wrote the whole site himself. It sounds like one of his speeches at the school assembly. He talks a lot about being a model citizen, but not much about what he actually wants students to learn or how he wants them to act besides well-disciplined. He seems to care a lot more about taxes than students. So, Mr. Pierce and Miss Clay want to turn Kingsport High around one model citizen at a time, with the goal of building Mr. Pierce's reputation so he can launch his campaign for governor. Well, yeah, you think you found everything you can about that. What shall we look for now? Let's look up the occult knowledge. Ooh. When you first developed your powers, you poked around on some strange corners of the internet, trying to find any information that might help you figure out what was going on. Now it's time to revisit some of them. These websites don't always look reliable. They've got too many capital letters, randomly blinking text, pictures of aliens, and that kind of thing. But you've done enough research to tell which ones might actually help. And now that you know what you're looking for information on the tide pool and other ways that magic can be conveyed through water, you can refine your searches even more. What you find is a site about the Salem witches and what they might have done in Kingsport. Whoa! You say out loud, staring in surprise. What did we find? Not only did the Salem witches hide out in Kingsport, says the website, they actually tried to get rid of some of their magic by throwing it in the ocean. That sounds like a terrible idea. They called the magical depository the Nexus of the Moon. So that must be what was in the tide pool, says Allison. Miss Clay said it drew on the Nexus. It's the same Nexus that Mr. Pierce named his company after, too. Now that you know what Miss Clay was doing with the tide pool, somewhere off the coast of Kingsport, there's a huge deposit of magic. Like a mine. Some of it must be carried through the water, and she can tap into it through the tide pool. I feel sorry for the sea stars. That's not like I'm not trying to get all like political or environmental on this, but I'm just talking because you find sea stars and okay, well, let's say I feel sorry for the anemones. There you go. I feel sorry for the anemones. I look up what's going on with the sea stars. It's actually kind of scary. Anywho, you can do that after you listen to this. Please like and subscribe. Now what? What do you want to search for online? Social media chatter? Yeah, sure. You're pretty sure people like Will and Jake will have wiped their profiles clean, but what about others in the section of the bleachers? What about the students who are in Miss Clay's classes or who have gotten to detention with her and haven't come back acting like Will and Jake? Time to hit the social media sites. You know exactly who's in the social circles, who's been acting differently lately, and who keeps their social media unlocked for all to see. Jackpots! A few of the Frosh in Miss Clay's 5th period algebra class have been talking about their class, and oh wait, what? They think she's great. She cares about her students. She gives them extra help. She really wants them to succeed. One kid, Colin Westbrook, is a particular fan. She thinks I can go to Harvard. Colin, says Haley, peering at the computer in surprise. He's on the newspaper. He's kind of over-enthusiastic, but he's a good kid. Oh, right. Colin is the Frosh you nearly ran into in the hall when you were trying to find Haley's phone. Definitely over-enthusiastic, but he's an okay person, I guess. He didn't seem like Will or Jake when he talked to him a few weeks ago, and his Instagram feed looks perfectly normal. If slightly nerdy, pictures of himself and his friends, working on the newspaper office, pictures of his dog. You check Colin's social media against Jake's, and they're completely different. Jake's Facebook page is nearly empty, with nothing left but his name, hometown, and the official Kingsport High soccer team photo. Colin seems to be a fan of Miss Clay, but also normal. What's up with that? Well, now what? I want to find out who's in Miss Clay's class so I can talk to them. You can easily find the class lists online, so you scan the familiar-looking names. You immediately spot the name you've seen before, Colin Westbrook. You definitely need to talk to him. Now what? Okay. I think we figured that one out. What do you want to search for online now? I'm all done. You flip your laptop closed, satisfied that you've gotten all the information you can from the internet. Anything else you can learn? You'll have to do that at school before you were grounded. Before you were grounded, you had plans to hang out with Allison at her house. A little homework, a little video game playing, the usual. But that was before you were grounded, so what are you going to do? I'll ask Allison to come over to my house. She will understand. I'll ask Mom and Dad if they'll change their minds. I'll sneak out. Oh, more scandal. Well, actually, hold on. Now I've completely changed my personality now, so I'm playing innocent. But that's not... Yeah, we'll ask Allison over. She'll understand. Rules are rules. Being grounded sucks, but you won't try to get out of it. Fortunately, Allison is very sympathetic about the fact that you've been grounded and is happy to come over to your house instead. The two of you settle down in your room, laptops open, books strewn comfortably over most available surface, and get to work. After an hour or so, you take a break for video games. Every time you and Allison play together, you spend half the time actually trying to win the game, and half the time you find yourself the most ridiculous thing you can do in the game. Spinning in circles, dancing, throwing random objects at each other. They're definitely not playing Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. Well, okay, maybe they are. Actually, no. Spinning in circles, dancing, throwing random objects at each other. Yeah, that's Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Never mind. They could be playing that at the same time. I don't know. This is pretty general, so they're... Well, okay, they're not playing Tetris. I can figure that out. By the end of it, you're both laughing so hard, you practically falling over each other. With Tetris. It's awesome, right? Well, what do I think? Yes, I wish every day could be like this. Or 2, it's pretty fun, yeah? Or C, actually I should get back to work. This is distracting. Or, or E, the fourth Japanese letter in the alphabet. Not as awesome as it could used to be. I don't think Allison and I enjoy the same things anymore. Oh no. Alright, well, we'll be innocent and happy. But at the same time, I do like stirring up that little bee's nest of drama. Because I'm part of the drama club, so, you know, it's part of my MO. So, what I'm probably going to decide is to wait until next time here on sci-hi. Like and subscribe. Something like that. Yeah. Like and subscribe.